The Canterbury Water Management Strategy allows communities to make decisions on water management and find local solutions. The community-led approach puts locals in the driving seat, with planners and technical experts supporting them so that compromises and solutions can be agreed upon before a plan is written. This collaborative approach is central to the success of the strategy. Canterbury is covered by 10 water management zones. Each zone has a committee made up of Runanga representatives, community members and council appointees. There is also a regional committee. Committee members facilitate community engagement and focus on achieving local targets.
It's a really important part of getting the strategy right. So on the committees we do have someone from Environment Canterbury, one of the commissioners. We have district or city councillors and membership from the Papatipi Runanga. Then we have up to 7 community members, and that's a really important process in terms of selecting them. They must cover a range of interests. They sort of have to come from all over the zone, and most importantly, and they're actually tested in the selection process, on their ability to collaborate and work across and see other people's point of view. The committees have a terms of reference that's signed off by all the councils involved. They have 2 things to do really. One is to work out how the targets are going to be achieved in their zone, so they've got to look at all 10 target areas. And the other thing they've got to do is seek the views of the community, so that when their recommendations go back to the councils, they're endorsed by, in some sense, in the community. So they have a very strong role in terms of finding out what people are thinking, how people want to see things happening, and engaging with their communities. Really a strong part of what they're intended to do. We have all that formalised through their terms of reference.
The committees focus on shared decision-making within an agreed framework. Committee members work collaboratively to find solutions that are acceptable to everyone.
I think in any collaborative process, it's really important to specify at the beginning, the mandate and the power that your collaborative group has. And we've been really lucky here in Canterbury because the zone committees and the regional committee have a lot of a really strong mandate from the partners in the CWMS, Environment Canterbury, the city and district councils and Ngāi Tahu. And then particularly the Environment Canterbury commissioners have said to the zone committees, if you reach a consensus on any planning type recommendations, then we will adopt that as our starting position for preparing a plan and putting that through the Resource Management Act process. And when it comes to recommendations about work programs and things to do, we'll use the zone committee's recommendations. This is what the Environment Canterbury commissioners have said. We'll use your recommendations as the basis for drafting work for us to do, and we'll talk to you about how to prioritise resources. So that has been really powerful in terms of the zone committees feeling that they have a real mandate and that they will get listened to and their recommendations will be acted on.
Collaboration is central to what we're trying to achieve with the Canterbury Water Management Strategy, because it's about finding solutions that reflect the diversity of values of the people around the table, the people in the community. So finding ways to listen to each other, to be open to new ideas about what the solutions might look like, building that mutual understanding, that's central to what we're trying to achieve. Facilitation is about helping the community have really rich conversations around stuff that can often be quite difficult to talk about, or where people come with quite different views or sets of values. And as well as helping that conversation to happen, it's also about supporting and enabling the local leadership, because this is ultimately about locals finding solutions that make sense to them.
Canterbury Water Management Strategy has really changed lots of ways of working, both for staff but also for people involved in water management in Canterbury. So I think there's a few things. One is we've tried to stop the debate from being about environment versus development and started to have a solution-focused discussion about what we can do to achieve the targets. We've tapped into that local knowledge, and as staff at Environment Canterbury, that means you become more of an assistant to the process rather than sitting in the often said White Tower in Christchurch designing solutions. So it's a much more embedded and therefore I think sustainable and long-lasting approach to how we manage water in Canterbury. And it will have benefits right up to 2040, which is when the last targets apply, but I am quite confident it will last beyond that.